What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, aka Darth Apocalypse. So, in this particular video, man, I want to make a response to something that Stephen A. Smith said that really pissed me off. Now, I already heard what he said about Will, and it is what it is. I've already made videos debunking a lot of the stupid shit he says about Will Chamberlain. I don't get the KD glazing from this dude. I honestly don't. He's the first guy to really keep saying this shit. And I'm going to tell you something else I think I knows about Stephen A. Smith. I suspect, I just noticed certain things with him. Like, I notice if you really pay attention to Stephen A. Smith, ever since he said that was the weakest move in NBA history that KD made, for the most part, it started a couple years afterwards. He's been kissing his ass constantly. And another guy who he never holds to a high standard like he does everybody else is James Harden. I've noticed that James Harden never has to do anything. All these other guys, they have to prove their greatness. Like Donovan Mitchell, I know this Kendrick Perkins, but Donovan Mitchell has to win a championship, right? But what has James Harden ever done? That tells me that all you got to do is look good. Look good scoring, put up a bunch of points, and somehow that makes you immune to criticism for winning. But when you're Giannis and you already won a championship, somehow you got to win another one and then another one, or it's never enough. But that's just another argument for another day. Stephen A. Smith had the nerve to say on national television that he would put Kevin Durant over Larry Bird. That right there should disqualify that man from ever talking about basketball ever again. And for a man that is his age, for a man that is 58 years old, and remember the 80s, and remember Larry Bird's impact, along with Magic Johnson, for you to say something like that, man, you a cold-hearted, snake-ass in the ground individual. And as I called you on your video where you removed my comment, ESPN, you's a bald-headed monkey. How in the fuck do you put this? You said, what can Larry Bird do that Kevin Durant can? I tell you one thing, lead a team to a championship where he's the head guy, where he's the lead guy. Kevin Durant, Larry Bird never ran from Boston and joined up with Isaiah or Michael Jordan to create a super team. Larry Bird was a better defender than Kevin Durant. Wasn't great, but he was a better defender. He gave much more effort on the defensive end. Made some all-defensive second team. I think he made at least one or two all-defensive second teams. Okay? Excellent help defender. I think I already said he's a better, if I didn't, he's a much better rebounder. He's a much better passer. Easily. I mean, it's not even close. He's a better post scorer. Much better post scorer than Kevin Durant. Mid-range, I mean, it's close. It's in there, you know what I'm saying? It's close. KD has an edge with three-point shooting, but Bird for his era was spectacular. And then again, Bird didn't really practice threes like these guys, and he won 3 three-point contests in a row. 3 of them. Free throw shooting is about even. But certain intangibles KD don't have. KD's not a leader. Larry Bird was. Larry Bird was clutch. KD generally is not, unless he has a battery in his back, i.e. a super team. And then you said Larry Bird had Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish. He didn't have them the first year he was there. Kevin McHale was still in college in Minnesota, and Parrish was with the Warriors his first year. Get your facts straight. Larry Bird's first year, he helped turn around a Celtics team that was 29-53 the year he got before he got there, the year before, 78-79. And in his first year, he led a 32-game turnaround, at the time the best in NBA history. And they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. And he won Rookie of the Year. Did KD do that? I don't think KD. Did KD win Rookie of the Year? You know what? He might have did. KD might have did win Rookie of the Year. I don't remember anymore. Probably did. But I know one thing he didn't do is lead the Sonics his first year there to a deep playoff run. Bird led the Celtics to a championship his second year. Throughout the 1980s into the early 1990s, Larry Bird was the constant there in Boston. As soon as Larry Bird retired, Boston fell off completely. They went from a 50-55 win team to a middling team. And then it completely fell apart after the death of Reggie Lewis. In 88-89, when Bird missed that entire season, Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish lost in the first round to Detroit as the 8th seed. They were the 8th seed without Larry Bird. Also, you name Parrish and McHale, and of course he played with Bill Walton, but he was diminished Bill Walton. He played with DJ. He played with Nate Archibald. Yeah, he did play with some talent in Boston, no doubt about it. But who has KD played with? KD has played with Russell Westbrook. He's had 2 stints with James Harden. He played with a borderline all-star Serge Ibaka. Then he went to the Warriors and played with Steph Curry in his prime, played with Klay Thompson in his prime, played with the fake Hall of Famer Draymond Green. Then he played with Kyrie Irving. When that was the second time he played with James Harden. Then he played with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. And now he's in Houston with Sengun, even though I think he's out. I haven't kept up with their roster. He might be back now. So he's always had consistent all-star help. He's played with more Hall of Famers than Larry Bird. But yet, outside of Boston, outside of Golden State, what has Kevin Durant done? This is the first time this season, this is the first time since 2018 that Kevin Durant has won 50 games in a year. You said it yourself. Over the last 24 playoff games, KD is 7-17. But you named his stats to absolve him of any responsibility, right? So can I do the same thing to Russell Westbrook? Because you hold it against Wilt. You call him a quitter, but KD quit on the Thunder. They were up 3-1. Why couldn't he run it back? It is the same KD that criticized LeBron for the decision, saying you guys don't want to compete. And then 6 years later, he do the same thing, if not worse. Matter of fact, it was worse because he joined a team that went 73-9 the year before. So how the fuck does he go from making the worst move in playoff history to a top 10 all-time player? Come on, man. How do you join? You don't get credit for joining a super team and everybody in their primes. It ain't even like Barkley when he joined the Rockets in 96. It's not even like that. It's not even that, because Elijah Warren, Drexler, and Barkley were on the downside of their careers. And that Rockets team was rebuilding. It's not even that. The Warriors had just won 73 goddamn games. That's like Reggie Miller joining the 72-10 Bulls. Come on, man. And then he won a championship and beating his chest. That was the most anticlimactic NBA finals in history. But like I said, these guys want credit for, you know what I'm saying, doing the most, least, or doing the least impressive shit when you really look at it. And there's something wrong with today's NBA when, as you said it, KD has put up better stats after his Achilles rupture, after the age of 30, into his late 30s than he did in his prime. LeBron's stats during the second half of his 23-year career are equal to the first half. James Harden is still putting up all-star numbers. So that's telling you something. That's telling you that there's something wrong with today's NBA. It's too offensive friendly, and you have to wonder what some of these guys are doing. Larry Bird gave of himself all day, every day. Larry Bird played harder than anybody in the NBA, and that's shortened his career. He gave 100% effort. I can't say KD's giving 100% effort. KD plays his role. He has his spots. He doesn't get out of his comfort zone. That's ridiculous that you put Larry Bird over KD over Larry Bird. And Larry Bird saved the NBA along with Magic Johnson. KD ain't saved shit. If anything, the load management and all of the team hopping these dudes have done have hurt the NBA. See, that's all I got to say about it, man.